The Last of Us remake seems to have just so much pressure being put upon it. It feels like there's just so much hype, so much expectation, so much of people just saying, this better be the best game ever. But I want to talk about why this really exists, and sort of my thoughts as it currently is. What's up, gamers? Dreamcastguy here. Now, as it stands, I feel like PlayStation 5 has been having a pretty decent year. We had, obviously, Horizon Forbidden West, which was a freaking masterpiece. We had Gran Turismo 7, which was fun, but a bit controversial. And now we have God of War Ragnarok, hypothetically coming out at the end of the year, and now The Last of Us remake. But what's kind of been striking my eye is some of the talk over on social media. But let's take a look at the official messages. Please like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Now let's start things off with this. Here is a tweet by Naughty Dog saying this: "It's been 10 years since the release of The Last of Us, and you'll faithfully be able to play this new experience of Joel and Ellie's classic story, completely remade from the ground up for the newest console generation." Now, I've been looking at a bunch of these tweets, a bunch of these trailers, because I'll admit it, they look pretty dang good graphically. The fact that they've redone the gameplay, hypothetically, this seems really, really cool. And Naughty Dog has been releasing these new teases. This is one they actually tweeted out last night. This is going from PlayStation 3 to PlayStation 5. Obviously, this is the titular character Tess. It is, honestly, this is very, very graphically. It's impressive how close we're getting to photorealism. But one thing that sort of sticks in my mind is how much they're really pressing on the graphics. I actually tweeted this out. Yes, I'm going to buy The Last of Us remake because I am a dumb slut, but I want to see that new gameplay first. It's very important to me that as much as they're really pushing the idea of the visual improvement, I'm kind of curious what they can add to the original Last of Us when it comes to storytelling within combat. What kind of really fuels my curiosity about this entire project is sort of just imagining what the gameplay of this new version of Last of Us is actually going to play like, because they have pretty explicitly in interviews seemed to say that this is going to run off the Last of Us Part 2 engine. Now let's just get this out of the way. Last of Us Part 2 is a very, very hated game by certain parts of the internet. Myself, I extremely disliked the story. I do not like the ending. I think that Last of Us Part 2 has some very deep-seated issues with the writing itself, but undeniably, the freaking combat is perfection. The combat is completely surreal. How much enemies will react, how much the AI is able to try and cope and adapt, how much every enemy feels like an actual person. They'll call out the names of people as you take them down. They'll try and flank you or kill you or cheer each other on. Like, it's crazy how much they managed to make a reactive sense of reality. And I want that more than anything else to be placed inside of The Last of Us Part 1. But something else comes to mind. Quickly, let's take a look at this. I keep seeing people specifically talking about these visual updates, but I feel like this is sort of a strange thing to hype because really, are these that substantial? This is going from the PlayStation 4 version to the PlayStation 5 version. Again, this is an official tweet by Naughty Dog. It is better. I'm not going to act like this isn't better, but when I see this, it's cool that there is all these extra little bits. Like, obviously, this is the PlayStation 4 version again here, going back to PlayStation 5. It's interesting that we have more resolution, more little tiny bits of smoke effect. I want to see more than this, though. Like right here, I saw this. Somebody actually did an incredibly HD. Let me put this full screen. This is the monster from the Last of Us Part 1 remake trailer. This is the clicker. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that does look pretty spectacular. Look, his watch actually even glints. These visuals are substantially better. These visuals are a dramatic jump up. Holy heck, you can see practically its brains. Oh my god, I'm actually getting scared looking at this image. That's very, very cool. But I stick to my guns. I want to see what it's like to fight these things. Like, of course, these extra pictures that we're getting that show, like, Joel in the remake with these little just extra lines on his face that truly evoke the fact that he is this weather-beaten hero from a different age. This is graphically freaking stunning, but I'm also still more skeptical about the idea of if they're going to change things. There's been a rumor going around on the internet now for a couple months, in fact, way before they even actually revealed the trailer itself, and it's something I read, and it's something I kind of want to discuss with you guys because I do like to talk about games. People have been saying, what if they add in Abby to The Last of Us Part 1? Now, what I mean by that is that Last of Us Part 2, obviously the major difference is the fact that it has two separate heroes at once. It has Abby and it has frickin' Ellie. And I hate to even use the word hero, but that is sort of the whole crux of it, is that whoever the hero of the story is just a certain point of view. Well, Abby, to a lot of people's chagrin, she just sort of appears out of nowhere. She's not introduced, she's not really shown up, she just appears, and congratulations, now she is you trying to get your bloody vengeance. I have heard rumors that they want to try and make a Last of Us Part 1 remake to put in an extra little chapter at the end to sort of introduce the idea of Abby so it more seamlessly leads into the events of Last of Us Part 2. And then, separately, there have been a lot of rumors, which personally I do believe, that we're going to get a Last of Us Part 2 director's cut on the PlayStation 5. Now, who knows what additional content this is going to include. Last of Us Part 2 is actually a very big game. It's a whole digital city with different maps, territories, freaking bases to take over and stuff like that. If they end up doing this director's cut, as the rumor says, I'm kind of curious what the additional content is going to be. Is that going to be additional stuff as Ellie? Is it going to be prequel chapters with Joel? Because keep in mind, the DLC for The Last of Us Part 1 was DLC chapter prequel with Ellie. I want to see the different directions that Last of Us can go. Last of Us is a very big property. I'm not really a TV watcher, but the Last of Us TV show is coming out, I think, this year, next year. I have no idea how time works. I'm going to watch it. I'm excited about it, but I'm kind of curious, like, more than anything else, I want to see The Last of Us Part 3. I'm excited for The Last of Us Remake Part 1, but I still want it to prove its worth. I still want to see what is just so different about it. The best remakes reestablish what made the original game perfect. Demon's Souls remake, it's good because it makes the original even better. Medieval, I mean, so many remakes are about taking the original essence and improving them. Resident Evil 2 remake, hopefully Resident Evil 4 remake, it is about taking that essence, that's that little kernel of fire, and blowing it into the mighty blaze we hope it can be. But what do you guys think? Are you excited for The Last of Us Part 1 remake? Does this seem completely unnecessary? Well, tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. And please, if you enjoyed this video, give it a big old thumbs up and subscribe. And also, keep dreaming. I'm excited about this game. This was just an excuse to talk about it because, honestly, I'm still at the edge of my seat. I want to see what this turns into, if that makes sense. Oh yeah, the Final Fantasy VII event is happening here in a couple hours. Hopefully something good happens. Final Fantasy VII 25th anniversary. Happy birthday to my favorite game of all time. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.